Hey Randy, you know how we have a signature sign-off that we use each week? Well, this comic had one as well, which he used for decades before revealing his secret meaning.
I'm all ears.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
I'm Steve McClellan.
And I'm Randy Hodgins, and that sweet farewell was courtesy of Jimmy Durante, who used it to honor his late wife, who loved a diner they frequented in Calabash, North Carolina. But long before that, James Francis Durante was just another kid from Brooklyn, born in 1893 to Italian-American parents. A talented pianist, Jimmy got his start in a family musical act playing ragtime jazz.
By the 1920s, he'd become a budding vaudeville star and radio personality, endearing himself to audiences with a gravelly voice, jazz-influenced songs, and self-deprecating humor, often referring to his large nose as his Schnozzola. In 1933, Jimmy scored a major novelty hit with Inka-Dinka-Doo, which became his theme song. Here's a sample.
A-dink-a-dink, a-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-dee. Oh, what a tune for crooning. Ink, a-dink-a-dee, a-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-dee. It's got the whole world swooning.
Jimmy was 30 years into his career when the golden age of television variety shows arrived, and his style was a perfect fit, both on his own shows and on the Hollywood Palace, which Jimmy hosted 14 times in the 1960s. Jimmy's style was warm and filled with ad-libs, puns, and groaners. Here's a sample from 1966 as Jimmy introduces then new rock sensations, the Turtles.
Folks, I've just been informed that the Turtles ain't turtles. They're rockin' rockers. What's going on here? You know, the Turtles ain't turtles and the Beatles ain't Beatles. The food has been concentrated on the public.
In the 1960s and 70s, Durante was everywhere on the small screen, including The Andy Williams Show, The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, and of course Ed Sullivan. But the role for which he'll always be remembered, at least by those of us who were kids in the 1960s, is that of the singing narrator in the animated holiday classic, Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal.
When Jimmy died in 1980, the Washington Post led off their obituary with this: Jimmy Schnozzola Durante became one of America's best-loved comedians as a gravel-voiced song and dance man with a heart as big as his native New York and a nose to match.
You can find out more about Jimmy Durante and all our comedy legends, including video clips and extended audio cuts at laughtracksradio.com. Thanks for listening, and until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye, everybody.